Yeah, I'm Wes Engstrom. In 1970, I bought this house that we are in now. This is maybe Caldwell's old house. A for sale sign showed up on this house, and I said, wow, that'd be a good idea. We'll just store all our stuff here. We wouldn't have to haul it back and forth. And so I bought this house, and it was shortly after that I found out why it was so cheap, because the Forest Service had already served eviction notices on everybody in town, including the people who had this house. And that got me involved in a whole bunch of historic effort. 1992, I retired from Boeing after 33 years and decided to move over here. And so we moved over here in 93. Well, things, one thing led to another with this conflict with the Forest Service, who said we didn't own this property, even though we'd bought it, and had title and deed and all that, because a piece of paper had not been filed clear back in the 1880s. We were convinced, of course, that that piece of paper had disappeared in a couple of the courthouses burning down back then. And so that's when we mounted an effort, that involved just about everybody in this county to support us in first getting declared as a historic district, which happened in 1974, I guess it was. I'd have to go look up the dates. And that then convinced the Forest Service that instead of trying to kick us out, they should help us get title to the property, because they didn't want to manage a historic site. And this they did. They first said we should file for a new town site under the old 1866 town site laws. And we did that. And we thought we had it made. But it was shortly after that that the Federal Land Management Act was passed, which did away with all home site laws and town site laws. Our only recourse was to go to Congress, and we managed to do that and get a special interest bill passed by Congress, signed by President Carter, saying that we could be an exception to this new law and thus get title to our property. And then we thought we had it made. But somebody pointed out that under this new law, they couldn't transfer the title to the property unless it was paid for at fair market value, which meant we had to buy our property. We expected to, pay some nominal sum for it, but the law said it had to be appraised at fair market value. And the appraiser come in here and said, this is great recreation property. And so they valued it at about $2,000 an acre.
Wow.
And so we started raising money for that. And after we'd done all that by about 1980 or so, we finally got title to this property after we bought it from the federal government and agreed to keep it as historic as we can. And that's how come you come into this town now. This is 40 years later, and it still kind of looks like what a lot of people imagine an old mining town site to look like. Most of the houses have changed ownership, you see, and the new people are here primarily for its recreational value. As I say, it's just here. We're just trying to preserve it as quietly as possible.